So this tutorial is going to show you how to send a Mailchain message via an API so that you can integrate native Web3 messaging into your application. What that means is you can send messages to any blockchain address or Web3 identity, such as an ENS name or an unstoppable domain. And this is really because a lot of applications in Web3, they won't ask for or use personal email addresses or social sign-ins. And that's really so that they can protect your privacy. Instead, people log in and interact with these applications using their wallets, so things like login with MetaMask. And as I say, this is great for privacy, great for identity ownership. But what it does do is it creates this kind of breakdown in connection and communication. Projects can't reach their users anymore, and users can't communicate with each other. So what being able to send a Mailchain message does is it brings back that kind of connection and communication. It allows projects to privately message their users using the blockchain addresses that they've used to log into the application with. Examples of that would be situations like an NFT marketplace where a collector might want to reach out to an NFT owner about an offer, or a DeFi platform where the DeFi project wants to reach out to a subset of their users, perhaps kind of users that have staked over a certain threshold. They can do all of these actions without compromising the user privacy. So this tutorial, it's pretty easy. It should take honestly less than 10 minutes. Everything and all the details can be found in the Mailchain documentation under send mail via an API. Here you have kind of the prerequisites for this tutorial, so Node.js and NPX. You're also going to need a Mailchain account. We would always recommend using a test account for anything like this, any dev or test work. It's really easy to create a Mailchain account. You just need a username and a password, and then you'll receive a secret key phrase, which is used for encrypting your messages. We'll get on to kind of the security of secret key phrases, but essentially the message or the messages in this tutorial, they're going to be sent from that account, which means you actually need to input the secret key phrase when configuring the SDK. And if for some reason that goes wrong, you could accidentally expose your secret key phrase, which would not be good because secret key phrases should be kept secret. So yeah, we can get started. Step one, once you have your account, go ahead and open up your terminal, which I have here. The first thing we're going to do is actually create an Express app. If you have an existing app that you're looking to integrate Mailchain messaging into, then you just route to that app. So feel free in those cases just to skip to step 2. But otherwise, for sake of this tutorial, we're actually just going to go ahead and create a basic app using TypeScript to Express starter. Again, all the details are in here, but essentially we want to go default, and then no to updating packages, yes to removing duplicates, and that will start to install. Well, you've now created an Express app. So you're going to want to open that in your favorite code editor. So I use Visual Studio Code, which is open, and I can only apologize for my very low budget transitions. But first we want to check that we can start the app in dev mode. So we just want to run this really quickly. Back here. Great. So just confirms that the app has started correctly and can be accessed via the local host 3000. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop that. Great. So we've got our Express app that is open in our editor. We now want to actually just go ahead and install the Mailchain SDK. So the Mailchain SDK really is just the easiest way to integrate Mailchain. It's been developed specifically to make it easy. And it basically will handle everything. So we're just going to copy that and npm install. Yeah, the Mailchain SDK essentially takes care of all of the complexity of working with the REST API, including things like signing, verifying, encrypting, decrypting, and kind of how all of that works. There's a lot more detail in the Mailchain white paper, which you're welcome to go and read if you want to. The Mailchain SDK is now installed, so our next step is to go and configure it. And as I said at the beginning, the account that messages will be sent from is dependent on the secret recovery phrase that you configure in the SDK. So just kind of going back to the piece around secret key phrases, the best way to understand it from a Mailchain account perspective is whoever owns that secret key phrase actually owns the account. It's kind of the same as the phrase of like same, not your keys, not your crypto. It's kind of not your keys, not your emails, which is less catchy, but essentially treat the secret key phrase like you would your private keys. Keep it safe. Do not expose it to other people. So first things is to just go and grab the secret key phrase from your test account. And then we want to go into the local dev environment, and that is where we will put it. So we want to copy this here and just input that at the bottom. And for exactly the reasons I just covered, I will not be showing that on screen. Put the secret recovery phrase into the local dev environment and save that. And then I've killed and restarted the app just because when you do the secret recovery phrase, you just have to do that to make sure it updates. So the next step, we are going to create mail service. What that means is basically with Express, it uses services to perform tasks. So we're going to create a service that sends the message, and we have called that mail service. So we want to go into source here, and we want to go to services, which is there, and inside services we want to create a new file called mail service.ts, then just copy this across and save. And I say save because when I first started doing this, I used to always forget to save and I would break a lot of things. So that is now set up and configured. And our next thing is to create the mail controller called mail controller. So again, in source, we want to go into controllers. If I can find it, there it is. And create mail.controller.ts. And again, just go in and copy the code here and save. Figured it. So now we just need to add the roots. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into roots in source, and we are going to create a new file and call that mail.root.ts, and then go in and again copy this into there. And now that has been created. So the final thing we need to do is just add that mail route to the server. So if you go into server.ts at the bottom here, you actually want to get rid of everything in here and replace it with the code here. And again, save. I'm not kidding. I used to forget to save everything. But yeah, that's it. You've done it. Your app is now ready to start accepting HTTP requests. So we can go ahead and test that. And to do so, we have a test here, which I will run through now. Just need to open up a new terminal. Terminal open. I know that the app is running. If you closed it for some reason, just start running that again. What we have here is essentially it's just like example text that you can send. And what this was going to do is it's going to send a Mailchain message from the account that's associated with the secret key phrase that you configured into the SDK. And it's going to send it to this address here, the subject, and that is the text that it will contain. So all we have to do is put that there, press enter. And status success means that it's worked. So because that sent a message from your account, but to an address that you don't own at this point, what you want to do, and the way to see if that has worked, is go into Mailchain, into your inbox, and click on the sent, and you will see here that you have sent a Mailchain message. It is that simple. But if you want to do something slightly more fun, not that that wasn't fun, then what you can do is actually take that text, and if we just create a new text file and copy that in, what I'm actually going to do is send this now to a address that I do own, which is my ENS name, which is mishadv.eth@mailchain.com. I'm going to change the subject to test API because I can't think of anything funnier right now. And that's it. And I'm going to copy that. And I'm just going to send that. So going back in, enter. Great. And log into the Mailchain account that I just sent that message to. So this is what it looks like to log into Mailchain. Containing a rough C. These are getting weirder. I had bananas on a plate the other day. Is that a... That's just a sunset. Okay. Not a bot. Good. So this is a Mailchain inbox. This is the main inbox, and then you can see down the left-hand side, these are all the addresses that I have attached to this specific account. The way that Mailchain actually works is it's essentially like privacy-preserving abstraction architecture. So what that means is you can essentially register as many wallet addresses or Web3 identities as you want to the same account, but no one else can ever see the links between those accounts. So only you can ever see which addresses are linked to your Mailchain account. So here down the left-hand side, you can see my mishadv.eth address, and there it is. I am testing at Mailchain, test API, hello Mailchain. It is as simple as that. That is a message sent via the API. So yeah, if you have any questions, if you want to talk through kind of any specific integrations or use cases, more than happy to kind of answer any questions. So please feel free to reach out, and well, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.